Adolf Hitler. Rise and fall of a dictator. Adolf Hitler, a name synonymous with terror, war, and genocide. How did a failed artist rise to power and plunge the world into one of its darkest periods? Join us as we explore the life, rise, and fall of Adolf Hitler. Early life and political awakening. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in Braunau am Inn, Austria-Hungary. Raised in Linz, Austria, he faced early rejection from the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts, which redirected his ambitions toward politics. In Vienna, he immersed himself in nationalist and anti-Semitic ideologies prevalent in the early 20th century, deeply influencing his worldview and future political aspirations. Formation of the Nazi Party. In 1919, Hitler joined the German Workers' Party, a small nationalist group in Munich, which he quickly transformed into the National Socialist German Workers' Party, NSDAP, or Nazi Party. His passionate speeches and radical nationalist platform resonated with a disillusioned German populace grappling with post-World War I economic hardship and political instability. By the early 1920s, Hitler's leadership had firmly established the Nazi Party as a significant political force in Germany. Mein Kampf and Ideological Foundations. Published in 1925, Mein Kampf served as Hitler's ideological manifesto, outlining his vision for Germany's future. In this work, Hitler articulated his belief in Aryan racial superiority, the need for Lebensraum, living space, for the German people, and his virulent anti-Semitic views. Mein Kampf provided a coherent narrative that blamed Jews for Germany's perceived national decline and advocated for their exclusion and persecution. The book became a bestseller in Germany, shaping public opinion and serving as a blueprint for Nazi policies. Rise to Chancellorship and Dictatorship. Hitler's rise to power accelerated following the global economic depression of the early 1930s, which further destabilized the Weimar Republic. In January 1933, Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany by President Paul von Hindenburg. Consolidating power through strategic political maneuvers and exploiting the Reichstag fire in February 1933, Hitler pushed through the Reichstag fire decree, which suspended civil liberties and paved the way for authoritarian rule. The subsequent March 1933 elections saw the Nazi Party and its allies secure a majority in the Reichstag, allowing Hitler to pass the Enabling Act. This legislation granted him dictatorial powers to enact laws without parliamentary approval, effectively dismantling democratic institutions and centralizing power in the hands of the Nazi Party. The Night of the Long Knives in 1934 eliminated potential rivals within the Nazi Party and further solidified Hitler's control over the German state. Expansionist foreign policy. Hitler's foreign policy objectives were driven by his desire to overturn the Treaty of Versailles and expand German territory. The remilitarization of the Rhineland in 1936 violated international agreements, but went unchallenged by Britain and France, emboldening Hitler's territorial ambitions. The annexation of Austria, Anschluss, in 1938 and the Munich Agreement later that year allowed Hitler to annex the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia, exploiting Western appeasement policies to further his expansionist goals. World War II and Holocaust. The invasion of Poland on September 1, 1939, marked the beginning of World War II in Europe. Hitler's blitzkrieg tactics swiftly overran Poland, prompting Britain and France to declare war on Germany. The subsequent conquests of Denmark, Norway, the Low Countries, and France by mid-1940 showcased Germany's military prowess, but also stretched its resources. Hitler's virulent anti-Semitism culminated in the Holocaust, the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews and millions of others deemed undesirable by the Nazi regime. The implementation of the final solution, decided at the Wannsee Conference in 1942, utilized death camps and mobile killing units to exterminate Jews across Nazi-occupied Europe. The Holocaust remains one of history's darkest chapters, symbolizing the depths of human cruelty and the consequences of unchecked hatred and discrimination. Allied counteroffensives and decline. As Allied forces regrouped and strengthened their military capabilities, Hitler faced mounting setbacks on multiple fronts. The Battle of Stalingrad, 1942–43, marked a turning point on the Eastern Front, with German forces suffering a catastrophic defeat that shifted the momentum in favor of the Soviet Union. In the West, Allied victories in North Africa, Sicily, and the D-Day invasion of Normandy, 1944, opened a second front against Germany, leading to the liberation of occupied territories and putting significant pressure on the Nazi war machine. The Battle of the Bulge, 1944–45, represented Germany's final major offensive in the West but ultimately failed to reverse Allied advances. By early 1945, Soviet forces were advancing toward Berlin from the east, while Allied troops closed in from the west. Hitler's refusal to surrender led to the devastation of Germany and the deaths of millions of soldiers and civilians. Downfall and legacy. In April 1945, as Soviet troops encircled Berlin, Adolf Hitler retreated to his underground bunker beneath the Reich Chancellery. On April 30, 1945, facing the imminent collapse of Nazi Germany, Hitler and his companion, Eva Braun, committed suicide. Their bodies were hastily cremated, marking the symbolic end of Hitler's reign and the Nazi regime. Adolf Hitler's legacy is marked by unparalleled destruction, including the Holocaust and the devastation of Europe. The Nuremberg trials held Nazi leaders accountable for war crimes and crimes against humanity, establishing legal precedents for international justice. Hitler's reign serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of totalitarianism, racism, and unchecked aggression, influencing global policies on human rights and international relations to this day. Conclusion. Adolf Hitler's life and actions continue to provoke study and reflection on humanity's capacity for evil and the importance of safeguarding democratic principles. His reign remains a cautionary tale in history, highlighting the devastating consequences of extremism and hatred. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more historical insights.